Okay, welcome guys. All right, so we have the Bank of Canada interest rate decision coming out in approximately 10 minutes. Now, from what we're seeing across different central banks, okay, and this is an important point here. The the consensus, if you want to say, across all central banks is to really just hold and maintain at the moment. There isn't any real signs of like you know pushing for growth in the sense of increasing interest rates. Right now they're trying to a lot of economies are still in uncertainty. Nobody's too sure what's going to happen. With the COVID situation, you may even think that sometimes it's done, and then after you look back, and then after there is more situations with COVID and more complexities that have come from the situation. COVID itself is a very sad and bad situation that has taken place on this world. But I think one of the things that is even worse to see is the aftermath of it, in terms of the second, people getting readmitted to hospital, health complications, and the economic implications it's had for now and for the next, years to come. So really, right now, we're in a place where it's highly important that we take advantage of, the market in the best way possible. Have a look at what's taking place. Look at what, you know, the publications, the notes, what, financial reviews, things like that. Now, I would like to pull up the review, but it seems as though we may not have enough time for that. So I'm going to go straight over to analyzing on the charts. And we're just going to have a look at what's going on. So USD CAD primarily is where I'm at the moment. Now, USD CAD, I believe in a very strong short. I do believe we are going to have a very strong short. However, I'm not satisfied with this price action right up here. I do believe that there could be potentially one more long before the short. Now, this is not to say that the price isn't going to go short. My real trigger point for this short to happen, I mean, I don't really want to go and trade this live, and I do always know that the price will pull back to some degree. But when I'm watching this 30-minute zone here, it's just giving me, I'm watching the price action from the perspective of, I do believe we have a bit of inefficiencies on the price, and that potentially we might actually get one more long instead of one more short, which might be surprising to say, but there is the potential for that to happen at the moment. On the other hand, really, this is the zone that's holding everything together. As soon as the price breaks beneath here, then we're going for a short. Now, I do expect a lot of pairs to react, so I'll be looking through different pairs to see what's going on. Now, I'm going to run through all of the Canadian pairs and just see what's going on. I'm going to go first to CAD Japanese yen. Now, CAD Japanese yen is my go-to, really, because I like the stability that the Japanese yen provides. It's not at the same level as doing a pair correlation analysis with something like gold, but I do like the Japanese yen versus the Canadian dollar to look at comparisons. So I'm going to pull it up here. Let's pull it up. All right, so CAD Japanese yen, if you look at the price action right now, so the price was in a range during Asia, which is interesting. Most of Asia, the price was in a range right here. And we've had a break beneath the range and then above it. And the price is currently sitting back inside of the body of the range, if you want to call it that. So the crux of the range, that's where the price is right now. From this structure of price I'm looking at, for me, CAD Japanese yen does have a long way to go for the short side. I think CAD Japanese yen has one more short at hand. At the moment, even if I go to the monthly from here, I'm not really seeing the price action give us a very strong area of demand that we could use to go for a short. Now, I do believe that there could be a short pullback, maybe to run about this region right here and then short. But I'm intrigued to see whether the price is going to return back into the demand area. So if I draw this out for you guys, if you notice, the price attempted to return to demand right here, but we didn't quite hit it. We just missed it by about 10 pips. And so I'm curious to see whether we're going to have a situation where the price is going to come back down here and go for some price action move. Now, when I look at this from the H4 structure here, we're quite clearly bearish still. Now, I know that there are lots of opportunities for the price to go long also, but when I look at the price action here, this closed beneath the demand zone. So if I go right here, when we had this body close beneath this demand zone and the return, to me, that was a very strong sign of bearish pressure. And if I go down even to the H4 here, I could mark this out for you guys. If we go right here, I'm looking at an A structure right now. All right. Here's the A structure. Here's the B that I'm looking at. And then I'm also looking for the C right here. So for me, looking at this, we've just had a return into supply. I do think that the price is most likely going to give us a short from where it looks at, but at the same time, price could go long, then short. And I expect the price to come beneath these lows right here. So this is really what I'm watching out for. And when I look at, I'm not trying to be biased whatsoever, but just simply just purely looking at the price. To me, we have a bearish structure on the price at the moment. But then there is some room for some bullish price action. At least maybe the price coming back to this supply zone again would be a great target. And then another short. There's a plethora of options. But to me, from just a simple market structure here, to me, the price is bearish right now. And I believe it's set to continue that way. Okay. So I'm watching out now to see what we have here. I'm going to go to EuroCAD now. I want to watch out to see what happens here. All right. So let's see. Now, for the moment, EuroCAD looks pretty similar to USD CAD. Let's go over to see what we have with Pound CAD. All right. So, I mean, when I'm doing my pair correlation analysis, I like to use the actual strengths of the currencies compared to gold rather than just currency to currency, because gold is based on really true supply and demand. Although there's manipulation, you could get a much better picture, you know, if you're looking at correlating two pairs. So I believe we can actually do this. I'm going to pull up TradingView. And just before the news comes out, now I'm not trading the news itself. So let's go to TradingView here. And let's do a quick comparison between the US dollar versus the Canadian dollar. Let's have a look at what's going on currency pair wise and see. So for those of you who've been watching, who have your speculations about the price, I want to hear in the comments what you guys think about USD CAD. Which way do you think it's going to go? What do you think the price is going to do? I'll be intrigued to hear from you guys. Let me know what you lot think. All right. So I'm just switching over here. See what's going on. All right. So let's switch over and see. Right here. Okay, so let me pull this up. Now, TradingView is taking a while, so if it takes too long, we're just going to go straight back onto the charts and see what's going on. TradingView is taking a while. All right, I would like to do a pair correlation analysis as well to see what's going on, but we can check this afterwards. At the moment, it's still taking quite a while to load. Okay. And we have like 1 minute left, or about 30 seconds left. So let's see what the price does now. For me, again, I still expect the price to go short. And if it does go short from where it is, then I'm going to have to pick up where I left off. However, I do think the price is going to pull back above these highs before it goes. So I'm just intrigued to see what happens here. I want to know what's going to happen here. All right. Now, on my other account, I have put a buy stop just in case. I want to, on this account, the other account I have is really not an account for. It doesn't really mean anything to me. It's hardly anything in there. The challenge account, I'll be more wise because we've got recovery to make. So let's see what's happening here. All right, so the news is coming out, guys. Let's see. Okay. So we have a short now. So the price is going short here. All right, let's see how long this is going to stick for. All right, so the price is wick beneath this area right now, which is good. All right, so we've had a wick beneath these two lows. Now this is what I was saying, guys, that I don't trust it, because these two lows here represent a double bottom. So I believe the market has just grabbed the liquidity beneath this area here, which traders will call a resistance level, and now should be making its way on the long side for a bullish movement, possibly. So I'm watching this carefully. The price is still spiking here. Now, if it still closes beneath, as I said, guys, you want to be wise with the price. Never go based on how you feel. Use technical analysis also, but this wick here lets me know everything I need to know about the price. So you can see, as I said, guys, USD CAD is pushing long at the moment. And look at this wick here, guys. This is why you don't want to trade the news, because this is a liquidity grab. This is an algorithmic process right here. This movement right here, many traders would have been stopped out right now. Okay, and now it seems as though the price is actually pushing for a long. Okay, so really you would want to be in the long rather than the short. Okay, this is why I said to be wise, guys. So my USD CAD has been triggered for a long on the other account. So I expect the price to continue here. That alarm just means that the price has triggered my stop loss and my entry, sorry. And here we go. Here's the long, guys, on USD CAD I was talking about. All right. I said to you guys that we're going to have some price action like that, and that the market's out for liquidity grab. And this is why you need to understand the liquidity in the market, because here you go. The price is going to go directly to this double top right here and take out all of the traders who were here before moving forward. All right, so this is why you need to trade with wisdom, guys. And I told you that this 30-minute area is really the crux of it all. So I want you guys to play this back and watch my face, because I didn't even react at all. I knew the price was going to probably pull long. So if you haven't seen the example of a liquidity grab, here is one. All right, this is what happens. This is why you need to have the correct trading teaching and be around the right people to learn from. Now look at USD CAD go. I'm also in pound USD short, by the way, as well. Now, I was expecting the price to pull a little bit higher, touched into this area. This one is kind of like a wider trade, so I'm leaving it open. But I'm so glad to see USD CAD, behaving the way it should do. Now, don't get me wrong, USD CAD still needs to go short, but I told you that USD CAD, the manipulation that will happen in the price action will always do things of this nature to get people to be stopped out of the market. So my target is really for USD CAD for this long. I know that the price will most likely get back to this area. Now, for those of you who are following me on the live, I told you that I expect USD CAD to get back to this area around about here. All right. Now, the news has just come out. Let's have a look at what's going on from the news perspective here. All right, share my screen now. TradingView for some reason is taking so long, so I'm going to close it. And let's just have a look at the news and see what's happened here. So if we look at the news here, guys, so interest rates have remained unchanged. And in the report, which I'm seeing on my left side of my laptop, is that the Bank of Canada has decided to reduce its weekly asset purchases by 2 billion Canadian dollars. Okay. Now I'm going to pull out Bank of Canada. Let's pull that up. All right. So here's the report right here. Let's see what we have going forward here. All right. So the press release for this is coming out in an hour. So we might see some more bullish action on the Canadian dollar again. But for now, we are seeing the price action that you would expect to happen. As I said, no matter what the news is saying, guys, I knew the price was going to go long beforehand because of what I can see technically. Remember, guys, fundamentals is just a placement of where technical money or where the price action on the technicals are showing. So really, if you follow the technical analysis of things, you wouldn't have to really worry too much about the fundamental things of the price action. You could actually get, I'm not saying you should, but you could almost get away with not looking at fundamentals hardly ever and still trade really well because you understand the algorithm of the market, the process of the market. Okay. Now, these monetary figures here, I'm trying to pull out the PDF. Let's see if we can grab that. Let's see what's going on here. Now, I will show you my other account for proof. We won't go through all 30 pages, okay? But I just want to see the monetary report, okay, for July. See? So what I want to see here is the key messages. So let's scroll down. So this is what we want to see. In Canada, although economic growth in the first half of this year was weaker than estimated, it should pick up strongly in the third quarter as the economy reopens. And now, on a side note, with when it comes to Canada, they're very high up there in the number of people being vaccinated. They're not too far off from the UK. At one point, they were ahead of the UK. So they're actually doing fantastically well. So please keep that in mind, guys. They are doing really, really well. Okay. So consumption is expected to lead to the rebound with increases in spending on transportation, recreation, food, and accommodation services. The economic recovery is expected to become more broad-based and self-sustained over the projection horizon. The impact of the pandemic remains uneven, and achieving a full and inclusive recovery will take time. Fiscal and monetary policies are providing a strong foundation. Again, I've told you this many times before. Whenever there's some sort of financial crisis, like for example, COVID or 2008, fiscal policy and central bank, which is a monetary policy, fiscal meaning political policy, and monetary policy become one. Okay, you can't tell the difference between who's who. All right, they work together to restart the economy. Okay, now many sources of uncertainty surround medium-term outlook for gross GDP and potential output. There we go. So here is the main thing that I was trying to say to you guys. So the uncertainty, which is because of COVID and the speed of recovery, puts the medium-term outlook. Now, on the long term, everybody expects to recover and to have some great years, but medium term, which means next year into 2023 as well, is the effect on the GDP overall, which is the cost of goods and services, net cost of goods and services for that country, in terms of the all right. Now, as a result, estimates of when the output gap will close are particularly uncertain. So the output gap meaning the pause on COVID in the projection, okay, to be absorbed in the second half of 2020, so the 2022, okay. And finally, CPI is expected to remain elevated throughout the rest of 2021 due to temporary factors related to the pandemic. Exactly, which is true. And as these dissipate later on, and what they expect to dissipate in 2022, inflation is forecast to ease to about 2%. Inflation is then projected to rise slightly above 2% before returning towards the target in 2024. So this is their economic model. Okay. So Canada is still moving strong. What's supporting Canada a lot is definitely as being a country that's heavily involved in exports, especially one of the most important exports to human life, which is oil. I do believe that Canada's economy will definitely increase, especially as the US dollar has just printed the most money they have in a very long time. And Canada bordering with the US means very good business for the Canada in terms of oil for consumption and etc. So I do expect to see some really good outgrowth and growth on the Canadian dollar. And I told you guys the Canadian dollar is probably my top three, if not the top. After I think Canadian dollar, then the pound after of currencies for 2021, which I believe are going to do very, very strongly, very, very, very well. Okay, very, very, very well. All right. So the key message, we can come back to the charts now. Let's have a look. So can you guys see this? So we've had the liquidity grab beneath this double bottom here, and now the price has made its way up. So if you were with me, guys, who were on the live, if you notice, I deleted my pending order on the 1:30 session on my other account. Now, just to show you guys for proof, I'm going to show you the other account. So let me log into the other account here. It's a very small account, but it's still a good account. I'm going to grow again. Very, very small lot size. So I'm loading up now. All right. So as I'm loading up right here, guys, let's let the price feed do what it needs to. So you can see I have a trade here. So I could close this right now and call it a day. I told you I'm looking for the price to go here. Now I've widened my stop loss quite wide here because I know the price is really not going to come back here for now. All right, but you can just see the sheer. Now, I want you guys to understand the liquidity here. So after these two lows that have been hanging here are basically lows that are equal. So for many traders, this is a double bottom. So for those of you who traded the double bottom, the second leg yesterday, you're in really good profit. But the error of this situation is that at the top right here, the market ended off with these equal highs, which means there's liquidity and stop losses hanging around this area. So now, those of you who just got stopped out by the Canadian news have hurt yourself really badly, and all your gains from yesterday and even from last week have all been rushed away on the long side. Now the price is actually going to go long, and I expect it to go back to this 5-minute area because we have some inefficiencies in price here. I expect the price to get back to 651, and that'll be another entry I'll be looking for a short. Now, if the price gets here before the news comes out at 4:15, because we do have Canadian dollar a speech at 4:15, then I will be looking for the sell. Okay, so this is how the market works, guys. The liquidity and understanding the algorithm of the market is highly important, and I just want you guys to be able to see the picture of how I trade to a better degree. All right, now I hope you guys enjoyed that. Let's see what CAD Japanese yen did. So you see, guys, as I said, CAD Japanese yen was going short and it's done just that. Okay, we've had a very good short here, and I expect the price to make its way further down. All right, so I hope you guys really enjoyed this session, and I'll catch you guys for the next. Everybody take care, and I'll see you later on. Take care.